Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Kelly. It's good to see you here. I'm really happy that you made it to the webinar. You should have already downloaded your 7 steps to resolve menopausal madness, and I hope that you've read it. I hope that you've gotten something out of that. And please feel free to share that with other women that you know. Your mothers, your sisters, your daughters, your friends, your coworkers. Please share that information to get them starting to think a little bit differently. And then you can also send them to this webinar. In the webinar today, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth than the information I could put in that free download. So that's super exciting. But the most exciting part is the stories. I'm going to share some of my story. I'm going to share some other success stories, women just like you who first thought, there's nothing I can do. My doctor told me there was nothing I could do. Or they've been suffering for years and years. They are on several medications. They never knew that they didn't have to suffer. I don't want that to be you. I want to be able to help as many women as I can improve their bodies, to improve their mood, to improve how they feel about themselves, and then the health comes right along with it. And that is super exciting. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Oh, but please stay till the end. I'll try not to make the webinar too long, but I've got a lot of information that I want to share with you. But stay till the end because I've got a super offer for you that you're going to want to take advantage of. So you got to stay to hear what that's all about. So let me share my screen here with you today, and we will go ahead and get started. So here you are at the Madness and Meltdowns No More webinar, and I'm Dr. Kelly, and you'll also see my ruby shoes. That's a bigger part of the journey. And as you stay till the end, and if you stick with me and do more things with me in the future, you're going to take your own journey to earn your ruby shoes. And you'll learn more about that later, but it's super exciting. So what are you going to learn today? You're going to learn how other women just like you are becoming energized and, in fact, radiant. They are beaming with energy, confidence. They're motivated. They know now what they need to do to take care of themselves. And I want you to feel empowered that you can change your symptoms. There are so many reasons why you feel the way you do today. All we have to do is start to dive into those, and we can change the outcome. That's as simple as it is. It takes a little bit of investigation. We've got to dig in deep sometimes, but trust me, each one of us as women, we all have really similar issues. And if we work together, we can uncover them and resolve them to make dramatic improvements. So I want to teach you how to stop suffering. And the first thing, as we'll discover, is you first have to believe that you don't have to suffer. But many, in fact, millions of women are suffering with hormone imbalance symptoms. And that's all it is, a hormone imbalance. So if we get you back into balance, then what happens? Well, almost magically, things just start to disappear and improve when we give your body what it needs and we get you more in balance. But what do we have to do before we know what you need? We've got to test you. You've got to get your hormones tested. I'm going to show you some testing. I'm going to show you a variety of testing and what you do about it, because you have to stop going to the health food store and asking the clerk. They're not a doctor. They're not a provider. They don't know what recommendations they're giving you. They're only telling you this product does this, and that may not be what you need. And then, as I mentioned, I have one very special offer to only those who attend this webinar, and you actually got to stay closer to the end before you're going to hear about it, so that you can take charge and change what's going on in your body, and you can achieve your health goals. Because I know you've been suffering. I mean, let's just be honest. Which of the seven dwarves are you? Are you itchy? I've met a lot of itchy women. Are you bitchy? Now, if you've always been bitchy, it's not that we're going to be able to resolve that 100%, but if you're itchy and bitchy, if you're sweaty, if you're sleepy, if you're bloated, if you're forgetful, and in fact, if you might be a little psycho, we can help you. I can help you. We can do some things. We're going to do different things than you've ever done before. So don't tell me, or this program is not for you if already you're thinking, well, I know what to do. I'll just take this and I'll do this and then I'm fine. If that's what you've been doing, go ahead and just keep on doing it. But if you want to get a different result, you're going to need to listen and you're going to need to learn, and we're going to have to do something different, okay? I believe that every woman has the power to change their current situation. All you have to do, though, is want to change. If you don't want to change what you're doing, how you're eating, supplements you're taking, if you don't want to change, you're not going to. But if you do, if you're ready, if you want to, I'll get you there. We can do this. I see an energized and radiant version of you, and I can't wait for you to see her too. I mean, seriously, I met this woman in her mid-30s. Her and her husband came together when we first started working together. They're lovely. I love them both. They're great. The funniest thing, though, when I started the conversation with them to say, okay, guys, what's going on? You know, what made you want to make this appointment today? You got to fill me in. Give me some details. How you doing? They both had a strange look on their face. They turned and they looked at each other and they said, she's crazy. And he said it, the husband. She said it, the person suffering. She finally was accepting, I am really suffering. In fact, I feel like I am crazy. She's like, I don't know how he can stand me because I can't stand me. I don't know what's going on inside my body, but I am a raging, and it's got to change. I'm gaining weight. I don't feel good. I crab at everyone around me. I am going crazy. The poor thing, who wants to suffer like that? And literally think about all those women that you know who have been fanning themselves because they keep having hot flashes for 10 long years. Now, wouldn't you agree with me that that's kind of ridiculous? That woman, all of those women suffer for a really, really long time. And maybe you're one of those women who have already gone to their doctors, and maybe you've had some testing done and they've said, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. So then you start to think it's in your head, or maybe your doctor tells you it is in your head and you start to believe it. So I must be going a little bit crazy. I don't know why I feel so bad. You start to feel sorry for yourself. There's nothing wrong with me. I want you to stop that thinking right now. Okay? It's great news that there is nothing wrong with you. You don't have a disease. Going through menopause is not a disease. It's just an imbalance. Okay? And we can get you balanced. So you don't have to wait it out. You don't have to suffer for years and years and years and, wake up every night having to change the sheets, crabbing at everybody, not having a libido at all. And then there's strain and stress on your marriage. And we don't have to suffer like that. Okay. So if you don't want to suffer, then you need to keep on listening, because I've got some solutions for you. Today, I want to help you create a new vision of you. Okay? You can have energy again. In fact, you're going to become the new celebrity in town, the new celebrity on your street, the Wonder Woman at work, the super mom, the super wife at home. It's true. It can be you. She's in there, and we're going to give her the confidence to come out. Now, how do I know this is true? Because I've helped a lot of other women just like you bring that woman out, that energized and radiant, and leave those symptoms behind. Celebrity, Wonder Woman, Supermom, whatever you want to be called, we're going to get there. We're really going to get there if you're ready to put in the work. If you want to be a new version of you, or maybe the old version of you that you loved but you lost, because, you know, life changes us, and we're going to talk about that. You can have it. You can feel good about yourself again. You don't, I mean, just leave the pain behind. Leave the fatigue, the weight, the hot flashes, the moodiness, the sleepless nights. You can sleep well. You can lose weight. You can be happy again. The challenge is most women believe there's nothing they can do. Their doctor has said there's nothing wrong with you. Your friends have said you're old. Welcome to menopause, and you're going to be suffering for the next 10 years. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if I could take you on a journey that would totally transform your body to start feeling like it should be feeling in this stage of life? Get back to that old version of you that you loved, but you lost through all those years of raising kids, etc. There's never been a better time for you to regain your energy than now. The opportunity to feel joy in doing activities you love because you no longer hurt. Imagine getting back to those activities you used to love, like gardening. Maybe it's walking or hiking, playing tennis, playing golf, traveling, or maybe it's actually being able to play with your grandchildren and start to have quality time with your spouse again. Doesn't that sound good? So if you're ready to love yourself again, and are you ready to be that new celebrity, that superhero in your own story? It's so much fun. Let's go ahead and get started. So remember to pay attention and stay till the end, okay? You're going to have a great opportunity to click to enroll in an 8-week intensive program. So I'm going to tell you about many other women's stories, some case stories. And what I've done is condense it to get faster results, to get you started, to get you moving, to get you going, to start to see those results. So it's super intensive. It's super exciting. And I'll tell you all about it at the end. So if at any time you're feeling inspired during this video, you're ready to take that leap of faith, you're going to get results that include increased energy, solid sleep, maybe it's clear skin for you, some weight loss, some calmed emotions, and of course, a stable Mabel temperature. So the funny thing about this slide, guys, is that as I was making this presentation, I got an email, and this is it. I decided to include it because she is already loving a new life. This woman has been suffering for years and years, okay? Her weight, she kept going up. She's totally inflamed. She's chronically sick. She's sick, like needing antibiotics every single month for years. And that was wiped out her belly, and it's wiped out her energy, and she keeps plugging through, and she keeps going, and she keeps trying. In fact, she's had surgery to correct the issue in her sinuses, and it didn't change anything. She still kept getting sick and getting sick and getting sick. And so I wanted to include this here, give her a great big high five. And she sent me this message just out of the blue saying, Dr. Kelly, I've lost 11 pounds. I am off all of her allergy medication. You rock. Thank you. I'm just so happy and feel energized. So much to tell you on my next appointment. Thank you. Oh, it's just invigorating. It is so crazy fun when people are getting results like this after she's gone to the doctor and gone back and gone back and gone back for a couple of years and never have her issues changed until she started doing things differently. So let's talk for just a quick moment about what we are as women. Now, this webinar is not directed at teaching you all about puberty and your cycles and all about the hormones, but I'm going to give you a lot of different examples to show you how your hormones get off and how that can contribute to your symptoms. So, you know, we go through these three big phases pretty much, right? Puberty happens somewhere between the ages of 12 and 15, usually. But just in the last week, I got a message from a mom, and I actually have worked with her in the past, and I've worked with her daughter in the past too. And so I'll just tell you briefly that at the age of 6, her daughter started growing breasts. Now, that freaked any of us out, right? You are not supposed to be going through puberty at the age of 6. Holy man. And, you know, she had a little temper on her. She was moody. She didn't always want to listen. She's 6 years old, for heaven's sakes, and she's starting to get boobs. That felt very wrong to the mom. And it hit home super, super close for her because the mom has the BRCA gene. And that's that cancer gene, that breast cancer gene. She has not had breast cancer, but she has had a mastectomy, a double mastectomy to try to prevent cancer. And now her 6-year-old daughter is growing breasts. How much stress do you think that mom was feeling based on that? That's way, way too early to be starting to have signs of puberty. Anyway, long story short, we did lots of things for that little girl as well as mom. We were working on getting them both healthier. And so we did some labs, you know, to check the signaling from her brain. We looked for food reactions. We cleaned up her diet. We cleaned up her gut. We absolutely cleaned up all of the extra estrogens that she was potentially getting from her foods, from the environment. So those phytoestrogens, those xenoestrogens, we did some detoxing to get extra, to make sure her liver was working properly, those types of things. And she really improved and things didn't get worse. She stopped, you know, growing breasts. She stopped gaining weight, and everybody was really happy. And so I got a message just this week saying, mom's worried again. Daughter's now 8 years old. Things have been fantastic for 2 years, and things are starting to change again. Her boobs are growing again. Mom's still worried. We're going to have to tune things up, tighten it up. The medical doctor tells her, you know, it's okay. She's, you know, daughters can go into puberty this early at the age of 8, but there's no reason that we should. Think about that 8-year-old. I mean, it is early enough to be getting a period when you're 12 and having to handle that. We only go into puberty so early when your estrogen, when your hormones are getting too high or being manipulated or altered by other things external to that girl. Okay, so that's puberty. And when we think about these hormone issues that we can have trying to get pregnant, or then when we go into menopause, would you agree with me that seeing these young girls at the age of 6, at the age of 8, having hormone problems already, kind of bring it back to some things in society, but set us up to say there are a lot of other things outside of you. You are not necessarily doing anything wrong, but there are a lot of reasons, a lot of different things that are impacting you. So after puberty, then we're cyclic now. We get a period every month, typically every 28 days. This is a long period of our lives, in our teens, our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, and possibly even in our 50s. Sorry about the little typo there. That should be 50. It's our childbearing years. And, lots of different women have issues getting pregnant, with infertility. There may be some of you who are listening who never wanted to have children, and that's okay. But then the last phase, what we're talking about now, is menopause. However, there seems to be this great big gray zone that merges between those cyclic years and that menopause time. And so they conveniently have named it now that perimenopause, but it doesn't matter if it has a name or not. The reality is it's a change in your hormones, and sometimes it doesn't feel good. And sometimes it's because we've beat ourselves up for so many years already. The body just needs a break, and that's where it's giving in, okay? So let me tell you a little story. And this is where I need to get a little personal with you. So you may have been to my website already, drkellyfelmer.com. I've got it posted there for you as well. Again, if you'd like to share the download or the webinar, please share that web page with people as well. But let me tell you a little bit about me and how I've grown up, some life events that have happened to me that have gotten me where I am today. And on my website, I tell you some of my story with my mom's health, with my health, and how that got me to be practicing differently, how that pushed me to become this holistic health nurse practitioner. But that doesn't really tell you much personally about me, right? And I want you to know that I'm a woman just like you who have had some of the same issues, and I've worked really hard and learned a lot to change it. And that's why I'm here helping you too. So I've been a very self-sufficient, independent, motivated girl since I was little. In fact, my mom used to say that she knew that since I was 2 years old, the day that she found me on top of the refrigerator, because there was something up there that they were keeping from me and I wanted it. So I figured out how to get up on the counter and get up on top of the refrigerator, and I got it anyway. So that's the day my mom knew that she had her hands full with me. But so that's part of me. That's part of my personality. And it's carried me through life to do the things that I've wanted to do. So growing up, I grew up on a dairy farm. And so I didn't see my dad much. He was always gone, up early, out in the barn, doing all the things. I had my chores to do. My mom worked. She worked at multiple different places. Sometimes she was working night shift and she'd be sleeping during the day. Sometimes she'd be working on the farm. So she was all over the place. And she had a little bit of an issue with depression as well. So most of the time she was sleeping, and she was sleeping a lot. And so if I wanted to do anything, I kind of had to do it myself. I remember taking my bike and biking about 5 miles to go to softball practice because there was nobody around to take me. I used to have to make sure that I got my own rides to get places, to do things. And I had to do that through my whole childhood and into high school until I could finally get my own driver's license. But I used to have to, give somebody a call to say, can you pick me up? We need to go to this choir concert. I'm all ready to go and I don't have anybody to take me. And so I was forced to be very self-sufficient, or I would have sat home and did nothing through my whole childhood. And that didn't, sit well with me. That wasn't really part of my personality. I just had to, if I wanted to do it, if I wanted to be on that team, if I wanted to do this after school, I had to make it happen. And then I had to find a ride to get there or to get home. And that's just the way it was. So that really shaped me into knowing that, okay, if I have a goal, if I have a vision, I have to make it happen, right? And so growing up, going to college, went to nursing school, of course, decided that's what I had wanted to do. And soon after that, I married a man who was very attentive. You know, I kind of feel like hindsight's 2020, of course, but I had to fill that void, right? That void of, I always have to do everything for myself. And so finding somebody who's super attentive, well, maybe in fact a little too attentive, a little too needy, maybe even a little bit insecure, you find these things out, of course, as you get closer and, you know, live with somebody, get married, and, you know, new stressors come about. But I was filling a void, you know, somebody needed me and somebody was going to be there for me and help me. And, you know, that's the way I started in a marriage. And so things were good. And then we started to have a family, and the family issues kind of brought a lot of stressors out. So all you moms, and maybe there's some young moms who are on the call who are in it right now, but having little kids is stressful. I had a career, I worked full time, and now I started having children, and it was super, super stressful on my marriage, and it was super stressful on my spouse. Those added responsibilities tended to bring out the worst. And so our marriage got worse, and there were lots of conflicts, lots of fights. And then I got pregnant again, and this time I'm pregnant with twins. So everybody, I had 3 babies, 2 years old and under. Can you just, you know, give me a little pat on the back to say, holy crap, that was a super stressful time, because my parents worked, my in-laws worked, you know, there was nobody around to help us out. We worked opposite shifts, and our marriage just got more strained and more strained and more strained. Lots and lots of conflicts, fighting, verbal abuse, some physical abuse, and it just kept escalating. So this is really when I began to fall apart. I mean, I'm this strong, independent woman. I provided for my family. I have a great career. I make decent money. I take amazing care of my children, and I am falling apart. Work is my escape. I've got to get out of the house because I've just got to get out of the house. I can't take this anymore. I am fat. I am sluggish. I can't stand being around my husband. And in fact, now I'm starting to have anxiety attacks. Does this sound like any of you out there? Maybe you're there right now. Maybe you're past that, but holy man, that's hard to get past. Let me tell you, I'm strong and I'm independent, and it took me a long time to get out. And a lot of that had to do with the verbal and physical threats and, you know, fear of harm and fear of bad things happening, repercussions if you get out of that situation. But can you imagine, you're at home with your children, it's almost that time, he's coming home from work, and you start to feel your body shake and your heart rate's going up. Maybe you're a little sweaty, you're getting a little nervous, you're trying to start to get supper ready. And I just looked at myself and thought, I am having an anxiety attack. This is not me. This is not me. Oh my gosh. What? I cannot believe this is happening to me. I have taken all of these stressors. I am dealing with it. I am handling it. I am trying to take care of my family, and I am starting to fall apart physically. And so that's when we shift into going to the doctor. I need some help. And okay, you've got a thyroid problem. Here, take this medication. Here, take the Synthroid. Oh gosh, your labs have changed. They're fantastic now. Really? Because I don't feel any different. I'm taking the medication. My numbers have changed. You know, I know so many of you with a thyroid problem, you get on medication, you're like, oh, thank God, because now this is going to change. And for some of you, it does. And for the rest of us, we go, really? That was it? Well, it changed a number on the paper, but I didn't change. I still feel fat. I'm still sluggish. I still can't sleep. I'm falling apart and I'm having anxiety attacks. Well, then you need an antidepressant. So I went on an antidepressant and oh, that did not agree with me. I got the shakes. I started having dizzy spells. I remember my jaw clenching. I remember having to sit down at work in the hospital like, oh my gosh, I am losing my mind here. I feel out of my body. This kind of stuff does not agree with me. You want to know why it didn't agree with me? I wasn't depressed, people. I didn't need an antidepressant. I just needed help getting out of the crappy situation that I had gotten myself into. And let me tell you, when I finally was able to make a plan and get out, that helped a lot. And I could finally take some time for me because I lost me. She was gone, long gone. And I had to do some searching with some old friends. I had to learn how to help myself. I learned how to heal myself. I took a lot of education upon myself for functional medicine, nutrition, a new way, because the medical system failed me completely. But all of that stress triggered my health issues. That's when I began having a thyroid problem. That's when my autoimmune rheumatoid arthritis began, because something had to give. Literally, something had to give, and my weak links were created. And so you have to understand my story to understand your story, because if you've had anything similar about what I just told you about, then you know I get it. I've been there. I've done it. It doesn't matter how strong I started because it almost killed me. And so I'm here to encourage you to not let it beat you. We can get out of this and we can repair and we can recover and we're going to be okay. So now dealing with menopause, shoot, this is no big deal. We got it. We just need to know what we're dealing with and we're going to be just fine. So given all that, I am really excited that you're here because I love helping women just like that story. And I've helped some of those women out of those cases too. But more importantly, I help their bodies to heal because we destroy our bodies. And then that's what makes menopause bad. We don't smoothly go into menopause because of all these other issues that we've handled, that we've endured, that we've, pushed through because we had no choice. That's how we did it. So I'm super excited because I want to get you out of that. I want to give you hope. We can get recovered. We can feel good. We can have energy. And it is super exciting when I see you get there. So make sure you stay to the end. Now we're going to get into some of that nitty gritty. And I'll have an opportunity for you to enroll in my Madness and Meltdowns No More Group Intensive, which is an 8-week program. And I'll give you more information about that in just a little bit. So if you feel like you're needing a little bit of help, let's get ready to make some of those changes. So as we jump into the content, It's really important that, you turn off any distractions. Please silence your phone, turn off your phone, turn off the TV. Don't be also, going through Facebook or things like that. Get a pen and paper. You might really need and value some of this information that I'm giving you. I hope that you've printed the 7 steps to resolve menopausal madness, because that's going to serve as our foundation for all this nitty-gritty detail to come. And if you're distracted, you're not really going to get what you need from this webinar. This message is for women who are serious about resolving a real health issue, and you can take action at the end of the video. So, by the way, you will be able to access the video again if you choose, if you need to go back, if there's a link that you wanted to write down. So please go ahead and share it with other women as well. And I thank you for doing that. So first step, as you read in those 7 steps, you are not crazy. You're not. You're just not crazy, but you are uniquely you. And that's what we need to recognize. Every woman is unique. Your history, just like the history I explained to you, my history has gotten you here today. And we need to recognize that. We need to embrace that, deal with that, let go of that. Because this moment right now, when you let go of that history, it's going to transform your future. And my life circumstances, they made me have to unlearn the medical approach that I was taught through nursing school, through my graduate degree to become a nurse practitioner, and through my doctorate program. I've had to unlearn some thought processes and adapt just common sense and how the body works. When I listen to how your body works, that's how I get you to heal. That's how I get the right supplement at the right time to support your body so it can change. And supplements are a means to an end. They are not the be-all, end-all, just like medications are not the be-all, end-all. We've just got to get your body working the right way. So you need to know that your symptoms are real. They are not in your head. These things that are happening to you are happening for a reason. And if we find that reason, we can correct the issue. And then it results in your body changing and symptoms disappearing. Your OB or GYN doctor, which some of you I know see for primary, are taught literally in medical school to never test your hormones. And I got that information directly from a medical doctor who is actually a great OB/GYN. And she was giving a lecture on menopause, and I wanted to hear her perspective. But during the talk, she told everyone in the room she will never test hormones. In fact, their medical association says don't do it. Now, the problem I have with that, it's okay that they don't test it because they don't know what to do about it. Okay, so that's my niche. That's where I work, and that's where I love it. But the thing that I don't understand is they're always giving medications that manipulate hormones in birth control, in the IUDs, or even the surgeries that they do, and taking out the ovaries that manipulates hormones. But yet they never want to know what your hormones are. If they're high, if they're low, if one's up, if one's down, they don't want to know that. They just say, nope, here, take this medication. But my hormones are all high. Nope, take this medication. But my hormones, I think, are low. Nope, take this medication. That doesn't make sense to me. So I don't work that way. And I also don't believe in just taking the next natural cure for menopause. There is no natural cure. You can support your body in many, many different ways, but how do you know what your body needs, right? We've got to find that out so that we can start supporting you in the right way, and different women need different things. So let's take Diet and talk about her story. She's 55 years old. And on our first appointment, this is what she told me about herself. Over the years, my weight has increased and my energy levels have decreased. I have never been one who exercises regularly, but had managed to maintain a weight around 140. I currently weigh 168. I am now in menopause and have quit smoking again. I have tried Weight Watchers and never lost a pound over the 15-week session. I tried it twice. I joined Fitness Renegades, a strength and aerobic program, for about 2 months. Never lost a pound, and so on. I understand that feeling good is not all about my weight, but for me, losing weight in inches would indeed make me feel better about myself. Who can relate to that? So Diette's been fantastic. She has taken those struggles and embraced them. Her overall vision was, I just want to lose weight and feel good about myself again. These hot flashes need to stop, and if I could just sleep better. So she was diagnosed with Graves' disease, which is a hyperactive thyroid, about 20 years ago. She received radioactive iodine to kill her thyroid. And as a consequence of that, she's now hypothyroid and has to take a medication for that. She's been diagnosed with depression, high cholesterol, reflux, and of course she has hot flashes and she can't sleep. But now listen to this, okay? After about 3 to 4 months, this is what Diette now has to say. For years, I have struggled with losing weight. Nothing worked. I tried everything, every weight loss program and numerous exercise programs. The weight refused to come off. In addition, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease about 20 years ago and battled my doctors about my hormone levels. To top it all off, I began menopause. After talking with a friend and truly focusing on how I felt day to day, I realized I just didn't even know what normal was anymore. This friend recommended Dr. Kelly. I finally found somebody who would listen and understood me. The food and hormone test revealed so much. Going gluten-free has relieved me of my arthritis pain. Removing dairy products from my diet made me realize how bloated I was all the time. I no longer take Synthroid, but instead take Nature-Throid and iodine for my hypothyroid. What a difference. Test results found out that my body produces too much cortisol, which leads to issues with losing weight. Working on that adjustment has allowed me to lose 13 pounds in 90 days, and I am on my way to losing the next 5. My night sweats are under control and my energy level is unbelievable. I am no longer a couch potato. I have the energy to do all the things I want to do. The list goes on, but bottom line is I am so thankful to Dr. Kelly for her wisdom, knowledge, and encouragement. She has truly helped me find me again. So much that my friends, family, and coworkers have noticed the new me. So who wants to be like Diette? Who's had similar symptoms? Who's ready to dive in to an 8-week intensive program to get those kinds of results a little bit quicker even than Diette was able to do? Now, is Diette completely done with her health? She's like, yay, did it, all done. No, she's learned a ton. She knows how to take care of herself. She knows how to listen to her body. And it's a continual process, people. We have to always be paying attention to our body. It's not a quick fix and we're done. I mean, in a couple of slides, I've got some hormones to show you of my hormones, and they've changed over the last 6 years. And they're actually very different. And so I'm doing different things to help keep myself healthy. Those are the types of things that I teach you. So let's get tested. How do you get tested? You can get tested in the blood, and I have tested many people. I've been tested in the blood. You can get tested in the sputum or spit as well as the urine. My preferred testing that I'm going to show you several examples of is through the urine, and I'll kind of explain why. How about this example? We need to find where your body needs to be supported, right? That's why I'm telling you, you have to get tested. I think when I talk more about being in balance, women can have many similar symptoms. You can have hot flashes when your estrogen is changing. You can have hot flashes because your estrogen is so high. You can have hot flashes because your estrogen is low. So when you go to the health food store and you tell them that you're having hot flashes, how do they know what you need? They don't. Please stop doing that. I have met many women who were doing exactly the wrong thing for their body. You got to get tested so you can be supported in the right way, get yourself balanced, and then not need to take this supplement all the time. So this 54-year-old woman who, these are her hormones up here. When I first sent her those results, I'm like, holy man, your hormones are a mess. She's like, holy snap, you are so right. Look at her estrogen. Total estrogen is at 117 and it's got a little red dial. Too high. This is just a summary. You're going to see details of other hormones, but just to show you how out of whack she is, estrogen is way high. She's 54. She should be in menopause, okay? Her period should be stopping. It's skipping, and it didn't stop yet because she's got so much darn estrogen. But yet progesterone is pretty much close to menopause. That little purple dash is a menopause area. That's normal when we become stable Mabel. When we are in menopause, that's where we want our dial to be. And then her testosterone, well, that's doing just fine. But she's got this nasty rash, which is just making her go insane. She's got tons of anxiety. She's a really type A, strong type, really irritable, tons of brain fog. She's gaining weight. Her periods are really heavy, estrogen, and super irregular. And she's like, ew, I've got these hairs on my chinny chin chin, and I do not like that. Her estrogen was super high. Actually, her testosterone was also high. You don't see it on this page. Trust me, it was high. And her progesterone's in the menopausal range. And so when you first glance at that, you could get tested and you could think, oh, all I need to do is take some progesterone. Does that seem like it's the right answer? Because her progesterone is low, but the problem is the progesterone is actually headed in the right direction. It's supposed to be that low. Her estrogen is the problem, and we needed to start to work with her liver because the liver does a lot with your hormones. We need to get that filtering better and clearing things out. And even that rash, before we even found out what her hormones were and knowing her history, everything she described, I started to help her body clear out a little bit, and her rash, we got that to go away in the first couple of weeks while we were waiting for these hormones. Also, a liver issue going on there. So her liver needs help. Her testosterone, a stronger form of testosterone, was really bottlenecked and super high, contributing to those hairs on her chinny chin chin. So we had to do some shifting of hormones and help her body get rid of the estrogen. And that's actually what she's currently working on. We're just in that phase right now with her. So here are some examples, of my hormone journey. It was actually at that magical age of 40 where, I was embracing a lot of new strategies. I've got all this new functional medicine information in my brain. I know I don't feel as good as I wanted to feel. The medical system, my experts that I saw were failing me. They didn't help me at all. I needed to help myself. And so the first way that I tested my hormones was through the saliva. And these were my results. I was 40 years old. And if you take a look here, actually at the bottom, my testosterone's in the green, it's okay. Estrone, which is dominant in menopause, is okay. Estriol, which is super weak, is doing just fine. Estradiol is doing just fine. So my estrogens are good, but I'm low on progesterone. Now that is not surprising because at that time in my life, my period was coming every 23 days. Here I am, 40 years old, I'm getting my period every 3 weeks, and this is really getting irritating. I don't like this at all. And, you know, that can also contribute to sleep problems and irritability and all those types of things. So this was my first hormone test. Low progesterone, I'm super busy. Stress can wear out progesterone, okay? We won't talk about that hormone cascade, but that's pretty typical, so that was not a surprise. Okay, I need to work on my adrenals, I need to work on my progesterone, and I started to do that. I've had also some cycle mapping done. This is testing through the urine as well. And remember how I said my period came on every 23 days? Well, the things that I was doing, although overall I was feeling better, this line right here is mapping out, you know, when I get my period. So my testing, which is in the blue and the red here, stopped about at day 22 or 23 because I got my period again. So this is estradiol and estrone, and I'm supposed to be like these black lines. And so I've got a nice estrogen spike like I'm supposed to have, although it's nowhere near what it's supposed to be. And that's pretty typical as we get older. You know how they say when we're older than 40 and we get pregnant, you know, it's a risk because we don't have as many good eggs left anymore. And the eggs aren't as robust, and so our cycles aren't as robust. And this really shows it. And this is why, you know, I'm spiking super early and my periods are coming super early. Same thing then here with progesterone is down here, and I'm normal. I'm starting to make some, and I've got a little bit of a spike, which comes after this spike. Look how far away from normal I really am, and way early. So again, no surprise why I'm having my periods all the time. Oh, and then here is a more in-depth of the urine testing. So the one that I just showed you was throughout the whole month. It's supposed to be a 30-day cycle, and that's great to do for, especially for women who are trying to get pregnant. But I wanted to know what was happening at that time, and it was part of my learning journey as well of why am I still getting my period so often? This is ridiculous. So the next time I checked my hormones in the urine, my progesterone is up here and that's in the green. It's looking fine. Hey, but wait a minute, just 2 years ago, my progesterone was low. Okay, so I'm doing a good job there. I'm correcting that there. My DHEA tells me my adrenal gland is still a little bit tired. Doing okay on my testosterone, but look at my estrogen. Now this is telling me the exact opposite of what I was 2 years prior. Now this has a lot to do with how we change, how we ovulate, because if you don't ovulate, you're not going to make good estrogen. So I can see I now have okay progesterone, but I have low estrogens, right? Here, I'm going to circle that. Okay, so I'm talking right here, estrogens, estrone, estradiol, and estriol, low and low, right? And I'm 42 years old. What the heck? I'm a little bit early as far as menopause is concerned. So I needed to work on supporting my normal cycle still. The other crazy thing that I am so not proud of, but I am going to blame it on I have never been a good vegetable eater. This is normal estrogen metabolism. This is what it's supposed to look like. A lot of green, a little bit of red, and there's some blue. This is me. I've only got 34% of this green protective pathway, the 2-alpha hydroxy, and it's protective. I've only got 34%. It's supposed to be at 70. That's what protects us from cancer, at least an estrogen-based cancer. And holy moly, did I need to work on that? Best things, vegetables, 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 vegetables. Okay, we've got to work on our vegetables. That's why we're also going to be talking about food as we move forward, right? All right, let's keep on moving here. There we go. And so this is me now. I'm 46 years old, and I just wanted to show you a little bit about doing my own testing. So I am not preaching to you from the white ivory tower. I've been through some dirt. I've been through some bad times. I've been knocked down and forced down and kept down, and I've gotten up. And I've got to work through a lot of my own health issues because of all of that. My estrogen was normal 6 years ago. Now at the age of 46, my estrogen and my progesterone are both in menopause. Does this mean I'm in menopause? Not yet. No, just because the labs are there doesn't mean I'm officially in menopause, because our hormones change, ladies. That's why symptoms can come and go. That's why symptoms can get bad and then not be so bad. And that's why we have to do a holistic approach to support your body in a different way, because my body is definitely transitioning. There is no doubt about that. And my periods, I get them sometimes, and then I skip it for a while. And it's all based on, we're given only a certain number of eggs. So when I ovulate, then my hormones go up a little bit. And if I don't ovulate, my hormones go back down, and then I don't get a period for a little while. So it's really all a complicated mess. And each one of us have a little bit different story. Not one of us is the same as far as where our hormones are at, what our bodies need. I know what my body needs because I've tested it. I know what my body needs because I know what I've been through. And every single one of us, I will say, the only thing that I can know for sure, in 98, 99% of us, women, we're going to need adrenal support, because the adrenal gland kicks in when our ovaries retire. Okay. And so if you've had any level of stress in your life, your adrenals have taken a little bit of a hit. And so if we want menopause to go better, we've got to support those adrenal glands. All right. I hope that makes sense. The video, again, right now is to not explain everything about all of these testing results, but I do want you to get tested. I'm going to show you how to do that at the end. I'm going to give you an opportunity to be tested. It's going to be super easy. But this hormone example is Heather. And Heather, as you can see, is 40 years old. Right here's her age. She is 40 years old. She's got a couple of little kids. She's got tons of anxiety. And she's feeling like she's losing it. She's not sleeping. She's got low energy, and she's bloated all the time. She's also really concerned about her thinning hair and losing hair. And her hair is very dry and very coarse. She's been working with her hairdresser, who's been monitoring her hair over the last year. It's getting thinner. It's getting thinner. We need to do something different. And so Heather is finally doing something different. This is what Heather has to say. My hair has been thinning the past few years. I've seen a functional medical doctor, but feel like I'm still having issues with mood. I'm irritable all the time, and I have a low sex drive. I've watched some of your Facebook Live videos and wondering if I need more testing. I was on a thyroid medication, but stopped taking it last fall because I had excessive armpit sweating and hair thinning while taking it. It was the wrong thing. She didn't need a thyroid medication. Okay, Heather says, I'm confused as to what supplements are best for me. I'm nervous to add things that could do more harm than good. I want to have more patience with my family and feel more confident about my thinning hair. I just cry easily, and I've been so irritable for a couple of years now. So if we take a look at her hormone results here, where am I? There I am. Okay, so her estrogen is right here. Okay, normal. It's nice and green. Why can't I see my little cursor? Sorry about that. Her progesterone looks normal and her testosterone looks normal. Great, normal, normal, normal. It's nice and green. She's 40 years old. She has no problem, right? Well, of course not. We've got an issue here. We're going to talk a little bit here about her cortisol pattern. We're going to see that when we talk more about stop stressing out. She is super stressed and her adrenal gland are taking the hit. She's got a really flat line right here. It's supposed to be in between these black lines right on in here, but she is super stressed and her cortisol values are through the roof. As we jump over here to the second page, what I see, I have to get this, let's clear that out, and I need that thing to go away. Here we go. I want the mouse. Show me the mouse again. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. There. Okay, I can finally see my mouse. So right here is her DHEA from her adrenal gland again. But here is her problem. Testosterone looks normal, but her DHEA goes to this super strong testosterone, and she is super high. The 5-alpha reductase activity is 10 times stronger as far as testosterone. And what I'm going to show you on the next slide is how that impacts her hair. So her body's trying to compensate really with high progesterone and keeping good estrogen levels, but her metabolism is doing great right here. It's really this testosterone that's the bigger issue for her. Okay. So DHT is that super hormone that is 10 times as strong as regular testosterone. It's a 10 times strong testosterone. It can't be converted to estrogen like testosterone is, and it's really a predominantly male hormone. And when that's elevated, it can cause a woman's hair follicles to shrink. Okay, so this is what her progression would have started to look like. But thank goodness, let's see. I want to tell you what she has been going through now. We worked on our hormone cascade. We drove down that excess androgen, that DHT, and we actually pushed some of it back to testosterone, converted it to estrogen so we could get it out of her body. And so what happened with that? We worked on her liver to clear more of the estrogen. Her anxiety has come way down, and she's feeling more in control when she's dealing with her kids. Now, she's got little kids, so she did say that, you know, sometimes she feels like her anxiety is starting to creep up, but guess what? She can keep it under control. And when we have super high testosterone, we can get angry. We can have super sensitive emotions, and that's why she was feeling so anxious. It was so funny when we were talking because she said, and you know what? I totally lost weight and I wasn't even trying. Building hormones like testosterone, and because of her adrenal problems as well, she was able to lose weight without even trying to lose weight. And guess what her hairdresser said 2 months later? Wow, what are you doing? Your hair, it's getting thicker. I can see it's starting to fill in. She was so, so happy. You know, it just proved to her, having her hairdresser tell her that, knowing that she is feeling amazing. And now she only wants to work on, how do I keep feeling this way? Okay, that's her next goal. She's just feeling great. And then when somebody else outside of you says, wow, I can really see the change, it's amazing. It is wonderful. All right, so hormone testing, finding balance. This is where I do a ton of work. Now, this woman I spoke to you about a little bit already with her rashes. She can't fall asleep at night. Her hair is thinning. Her fingernails are bad. She's always clearing her throat. She's got a super irregular cycle. Her brain feels foggy. She can't concentrate, and she's also got joint pain. All right, well, her estrogen, super high, and she's got no progesterone to balance it. Progesterone's job is to balance estrogen. She is way, way out of whack. And even here in her estrogen metabolism, so she's got super high estrogen. Look at her 2-alpha hydroxy. Remember, the green is good. It's protective. She's supposed to have about 70%, or at least between 60 to 80%. She is at 17. No wonder she is feeling so crazy. But just after 2 months, her rash is gone. We know her food allergies. We found out she's estrogen dominant. She's got this bottleneck. We know her adrenals are stressed. We're starting to support that. And her energy is starting to change, and she is super excited and fully committed because she can feel the changes starting already. And that's amazing. Now we need to talk about foods a little bit. So I love this little saying, and I made this little flyer poster, and I want you to read it over and over and print it off and put it on your refrigerator. You are what you eat. So don't be fast, cheap, easy, or fake. Okay? That means don't eat fast food. Don't eat cheap food. Don't eat fake, easy food out of a box, people. It's not really food. You are what you eat. So don't be fast, cheap, easy, or fake. Changing your foods, ladies, really will change your life. This is the first step that most women take. If they can't do everything that I ask, this is where they start, and it's a great place because getting some foods tested, not just I'm going to start eating my greens, I'm going to start eating vegetables. That's okay. That's great. And if you are doing that, that's fantastic. Vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. We all need to do more vegetables. I always need to do more vegetables. I'm a poor vegetable eater. But if you look right here on this example of a food testing, right here, get out of my way here. How do I do that? There we go. She's allergic to asparagus and to celery and eggplant and lettuce and mushroom. So if she's eating a ton of greens, she's actually reacting to some of the foods that she's allergic to. So it is an amazing tool to get your foods tested. It helps to change your diet. It gives you specific direction. Oh my gosh, I can't eat celery. I'm actually reactive to celery. So I have to cut it out. Well, celery is a healthy food for you. Yeah, it's a healthy food, but it's not healthy for me right now. I love this food pyramid right here. This is from Standard Process. An herb company made this. They start with greens, then vegetables, then some protein, water. Water probably could be down here. Fresh fruits, making sure you get omega-3 fats, and it's not only found in fish, it can be plant sources. Get some herbs and spices, use organic teas and coffee, and you can even have a little bit of dark chocolate. Who wants to follow this food guide pyramid with me? It's fantastic. Then you put on your layer of your food allergies, your life will change. Your energy will change, your skin will change, your belly's gonna change, and yes, your hormones will change too, because if you're eating so poorly, or if you're eating all these foods that your body is reacting to, it's a stress on your body. So we've got to clean up the diet. I recommend that to everyone. It is a must. And if you refuse to change your foods, then your body's going to refuse to change. Just ask Colleen. Colleen had a little bit of a struggle, but Colleen is doing amazing right now. She's only 48 years old, but listen to her story. I've been suffering from a number of issues for the past several years. I am obese and in pain on a daily basis. The following is a list of what I've been diagnosed with: fibromyalgia, TMJ, hiatal hernia, acid reflux, restless leg syndrome, sleep apnea, anxiety, and in addition, I have no patience for anything. I am very short-tempered and I continuously feel like I'm going to freak out on someone. I also do not enjoy doing the things that I used to love. I can no longer hike because of all the pain that I am in on a daily basis. Colleen had some struggles with changing her foods. And that's why I like to share her story, because just as I tell you to do it, you've got to learn and you've got to grow and you have to find value in it. So Colleen, when she started, she wanted to change. She wanted different results, but she didn't want to change everything. She's like, well, but I still want to go out to eat and have alcohol on the weekends. I'll do okay during the work week, but I'm not doing it on the weekends. Do you really think her body can change if she doesn't actually change the bad things that she's putting in, that she goes back to eating poorly or eating fast food, eating things that she is reactive to on the weekends? It didn't help her. She embraced it. She did good. She cleaned it up. Things were getting better. And then she'd go out to eat and she'd have a drink of alcohol and she'd get really, really sick. And that'd piss her off. She got mad. She's like, this is ridiculous. If I can't eat what I want, forget it. I'm going back. I'm just going to eat crappy all the time. If I can't have those foods without getting so sick, this is not worth it. And she really had some mental struggles to get through how she was feeling. And so she pushed on me and I pushed on her and I got her to stick with it and I got her to keep going. And guess what happened? Her fibromyalgia pain, when she really finally stopped eating the foods on her reactive list, gone. I mean, her pain impacted her day and night. It impacted her that she couldn't do anything she enjoyed in the garden or taking hikes. It impacted her how she sat and what she could do at work. And it impacted her how she could lay and sleep at night. Fibromyalgia pain, gone. She's not convinced that she really had fibromyalgia anymore. And I don't blame her for that one bit. But her foods are the key. Her foods let her get rid of all of that inflammation and her body stopped being so mad at her. We got her through a detox. We needed to do adrenal support for her. Her hormones were not too much out of balance, but she had everything else going against her. Her belly is doing great. She got off several medications. She doesn't have restless leg syndrome anymore either. She sleeps well. She feels awesome and tells me she has tons of energy. And she actually, the only time she doesn't sleep well is, well, there's two times. If her husband wakes her up because he comes to bed later. And the second time is when she's so excited about the things she's going to do the next day that she wakes up early because she's ready to go and she wants to get started and she's excited about her day. Who wants to feel like Colleen? Who wants to sleep great, get rid of their anxiety, and be happy? Just to be able to say, I love life now. I'm happy. And she thought she was going to bite somebody's head off before. Dramatic changes. And it wasn't easy. She had a lot of ups and downs, but it was clinging to the ups that helped her really embrace it so that she truly could change. Now this, I have to say a lot, and I know that just saying it doesn't make it happen. know that changing your foods is going to help you chill out. Working on your hormones and getting them balanced is going to give you some stability to help you relax as well. But you also do need to focus on changes in your day-to-day life to help yourself chill out. Definitely there's some supplements that can support your stress response. Sometimes we program ourselves to get so reactive that, ooh, there's a stress and immediately we fly off the handle. You have to retrain your body. And that's why we need to acknowledge our struggle. We need to take time to chill out, take some deep breaths, take an Epsom salt bath, go do some prayer, do yoga, do meditation, go for a walk, take a run, whatever is a stress reliever for you is needed. And you need to do it whenever you can get it in. Okay, if it's just 5 minutes out of the day, it's better than not doing it at all. And it's going to help. And then if you can take a little spa day, and believe me, I know it's so hard to fit those kinds of things in. And I need to work on that too. I have a coupon for a massage and I've had it for a month and I still haven't used it. I want to use it. I know I need to use it and I still haven't scheduled one. So I'm encouraging you, you have to take the time to chill out. Okay. We've got to support your adrenal gland. And one way to do that and to get your hormones in balance and then to learn to keep them in balance is by helping your body to just relax. All right? Super important. Lots of different ways we can get there, but really important that we do get there and work on that. This is an example of one stressed out woman. So if you see these two black lines, okay, these two dots right here on the left-hand side when she woke up, and then they go to the right. This is a normal pattern right where my cursor is. And so this red line is this woman. She starts out higher than she should be. She spikes double the amount of cortisol surging through her veins every day. She is stressed out. This is cortisol, and it's a steroid. The adrenal gland makes steroid to help you respond to your stressors, to help you respond to that bear that is chasing you day in and day out with your work or with the way you eat or with your children or with your spouse, whatever is stressing you out. And maybe all of those things are stressing you out. This is what is happening inside your body, and it's making you fat, and it's throwing off your thyroid, it's killing your adrenal gland, and it's going to throw off your hormones too. This woman is stressed out. Now, this woman, on the other hand, is wiped. So you can only handle being this stressed out for a certain amount of time. Now, I don't know what that time is because it depends on you. We all have weak links. We all have different circumstances, and one woman may crash sooner than another. But the point is, if you do that to your body day in and day out, and it was not built to handle that, eventually, instead of having a spiked high cortisone and cortisol pattern, you're going to have a level like this. Do you see this red one? Cortisone's a little past tense, a little bit more inflammation related. Cortisol is a little more mental stress related, but they're derivatives of each other. So this patient's values, pretty flat right through here, right? Instead of being spike up, you're supposed to spike up. You're supposed to get more when you get up out of bed. It gives you energy. It gives you strength. It gives you stamina to get through the day. And we need that, right? But this woman's, she's feeling a bit wiped out. And this woman, this one's, I can't even get up anymore. The red line is supposed to be between these two black lines. Look at her cortisol. Bottom, bottom. Oh, I made just a tiny little bit. Bottom. This woman needs a lot of help, a lot of support, and her stressors in her day-to-day life need to change. And then we need to work on her physical changes too. She needs a ton of support. And remember as well, though, that even when your adrenal glands are super high, it doesn't mean you have a ton of energy. You can be feeling that wired and tired, like I drank 2 pots of coffee and I'm feeling really off and I'm really irritable and I'm kind of shaky and I don't know what to do with myself and I can't sleep, but I'm exhausted. Either one of these women can be feeling exactly like that. I mean, probably the one where she's so flatlined here, taking, caffeine, taking booster pills, something to give me energy. I take this so it gives me energy. And then it can just make her feel wired because her body can't handle it. It just can't handle it. Sleep is so important, ladies. So, so, so important. Your body can heal itself, and it does most of its healing while you're sleeping. So you have to get to bed. And ideally, you need to be sleeping by 10 o'clock at night. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. is when your body heals. So work on that bedtime routine. Your bedtime habit dictates if you're going to fall asleep or not. Now, there are many other things involved. Your hormone levels impact your sleep. It is classic that women don't sleep well when their hormones start changing. It is classic that you don't sleep well when your cortisol is sky high, or when it's so low you're taking naps all day long and now you can't sleep at night because you're so exhausted all the time. The one thing I'm going to interject here, and it applies to every single spot though, that there is no magic pill. So please stop looking for a magic pill, a magic cure, something that, oh, this is the cure for menopause. There is no cure for menopause because it's not a disease. It's your individual body hormone imbalances, and those hormones are estrogen and progesterone and your testosterone and your cortisol and your DHEA, and there's just tons of things involved. So there is no one be all end all. In fact, so many people think melatonin is that be all end all, and melatonin is not a sleeping pill. It's a hormone. It's a relaxing hormone, and levels do get tested when you do a urine test for your hormones. All of your hormones get tested. Your melatonin gets tested, your adrenal gland gets tested, and your oxidative stress on your body gets tested too. But this is an example that, this woman's melatonin is doing okay. It definitely could be higher, but it's still in the green range. So she could take melatonin to help her sleep, and she'd be one of those people who says, no, I took melatonin, it didn't do a thing, because she didn't need it. Now, somebody who needs melatonin, it probably definitely helps them to relax, helps them to get into a deeper sleep. But melatonin does a lot more than help you sleep. It is relaxing. It helps to balance your hormones. It's important in your gut. It's actually important in your immune system and different responses. So it plays a huge, huge role throughout your body. And then, we talked about those 7 dwarfs in the beginning, and forgetful is one of them. And truly, one of my boys was just saying something to me yesterday about, Mom, you're old, you're forgetful, you're remembering that wrong. I'm like, no, honey, I remember that story, and I am telling you exactly the way it was. You just don't want to hear it the way it was. I didn't forget, but your hormones do really impact your brain function. So when we get a foggy brain, when we feel like we can't concentrate, is it your hormones? It could be. It could be your thyroid. It could be what you're eating. It could be your cortisol levels. There are many things that impact it all together, but absolutely, classic symptom going into menopause, my hormones are changing, and now I can't remember a thing. What is going on? But the most important thing that I do not want you to forget You have to take care of you. I know you're a mom, or women are typically caregivers, right? And we always tend to take care of other people first. Well, guess what? That's what got you into this predicament in the first place. You have to take better care of you, and then you're going to be able to take care of others. Because how many of you are taking care of elderly parents right now, or sick parents? And then you don't want your kids having to take care of you. Start to take care of yourself, and you'll be able to live to 90 and 100 and still taking care of you, not needing somebody else to do it for you. So stop beating yourself up. You are not crazy. You need to get your hormones tested. Then we need to get them balanced. You are what you eat, so don't forget that. And you need to get that tested too. It is absolutely time you chill out and work on stress reduction. Remember that sleep heals everything, and your memory is affected by your hormones. So I hope all of that information was helpful for you. I know I didn't give you a lot of specific things. You need to do this. Well, because what I tried to show you is that different women need different things. Every single one of those examples, I did something different with those women. They needed something different. But what I have figured out is all of the foundation, the things that we need to learn about, what we need to know about, what we need to change, and knowing that you're not alone, all of those things we all need. And what I want to do, what my offer is for you to get faster results, to make a concentrated effort, and actually to give you more attention than I've been able to give the women who I've done one-on-one calls over several months to get their body to change. I've created the Madness and Meltdowns No More 8-week intensive group program. I've limited the enrollment to only 10 women. I can only handle 10 of you at a time, but we're going to do this together. Now, already, don't worry. If you don't want to share personal information, you don't have to, okay? The group is going to be designed that I'm giving you education. We're going to take 90 minutes, okay? 90 minutes every single week for 8 weeks. This is the same as doing almost a 6-month program with me, okay? And so we're going to make fast changes. We're going to help each other. We're not going to share confidential information. I'm not going to share confidential information in front of other people about you, but you can share your story. You can share your struggles. And you know what? Someone else is struggling too. And guess what? Then we get to help each other make changes. You get to hear other things that women are doing that are going to help you. So in 90 minutes, every single week, we're going to be live together in a video conference calls. I'm going to see you, you're going to see me, and you're also going to see the other women who are on the call. I'm going to give you education. I'm going to talk to you about what we need to do and where we need to change. I'm going to give you some coaching. You're going to ask me questions. You're all going to have the opportunity to ask me questions. I'm going to answer them, and we're going to progress through this 8-week intensive group. It's going to be so exciting. You're going to get individual attention because during that 90 minutes, I'm going to be answering your questions and other people's questions. You are going to be getting double the content and double the attention and double the information of women who have done a 6-month program with me already. We're concentrating it. I'm going to be able to work with all of you at the same time, which is really going to be a tremendous boost, but you're also going to be able to get that individual attention. The group is starting August 20th. It's a Monday, 6 p.m. You're going to need to block off every Monday for 8 weeks to join me in this group, this intensive program. If you sign up today, so underneath this webinar, there's a button that you can sign up. get going right away. Become part of the group. You're going to commit. You're clearing your schedule on Mondays starting August 20th. If you sign up today, I'm going to give you the hormone test, the precision analytic urine hormone test that gives you all of your hormones, all of your metabolites. We'll find out what that pie graph, we're going to find that out for you. We're going to see your adrenal gland. We're going to find out your melatonin. We're going to find out your oxidative stress. $500 hormone test is included if you sign up to join my group today. When we get the results of your hormone test, you and I are going to have an individual call. We're not going to discuss your results in front of the whole group. You and I will have a one-on-one to discuss your results and to go through some specific recommendations for you. And then we're going to pick that up every single week and continue to help you progress, because you're going to have similar issues as the other women who are in the group. And not only am I giving you the hormone test, $500 value is included when you sign up today, I'm also going to give you a discount of $150 off of the food testing course. Now, the food testing course, there is a link at the bottom of the page as well that's going to take you to tell you all about the course. And it's going to test 184 foods, find out what you're reactive to. And it is also 11 modules of content and information around food. What do your test results mean? How do I change? How do I heal my gut? What do I need to do? And it's key, okay? For sure, joining this intensive group, we're all going to get that hormone testing done to be part of the group. And it's key to knowing what we need to do to change, to receive those results, to become energized, to feel radiant. But your foods are so important too. So I want to give you this big discount so that you can take the food course and you can go through all that content on your own, because it's there, you know, as you are able to, when you have the time, you can go through it, but you're going to get the test results. We're going to talk about that as well on a weekly basis, what you need to do or struggles that you might be having with that. So again, you sign up today. Our group is going to be 10 women, limited to 10. I can only handle 10 of you at a time. But if you sign up today, you're getting the $500 hormone test. I'm going to give you a personal one-on-one consult in addition to the 8 weeks of an hour and a half dedicated time to everything that each one of those women need. Plus, you're getting $150 off of the food testing course. I mean, ladies, I have never given such a special deal before. Now, even after all that, after everything we talked about on this webinar so far today, if you're unsure, if you want to know more information, if you don't think that you can commit, if you've got a reservation and you want to talk about it, I'm going to give you a free strategy session. So you can sign up. The link is right here. The link is also located below the webinar, the video here. You're going to see a link of how to schedule a 15-minute strategy session with me to talk about what your vision is, what you want to see change in your life, and how this program is going to get you there, okay? Is this 8-week intensive program right for you? That's what we're going to figure out. We're going to identify your vision. Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? Do you need energy? Do you need sleep? Do you need to lose weight? What is it that you need? And is this 8-week program going to do it for you? And I can already tell you, it is going to get you on your way. We are going to get you started because we all need help in those areas. And I want you to not have any reservations about signing up with me today. Okay, the link is right below the video here. I want you to be energized. I want you to feel radiant. And I gave you several examples of women who have achieved that. But you're going to get there faster. And you're going to get there with more support. And I'm going to dedicate more time. And we are making it a compact version of what they've already gone through, you won't regret signing up to become part of the Madness and Meltdowns No More group. And so after these 8 weeks, some of you are still going to need more. And we'll talk about at that time some one-on-one sessions and how to go up for how to continue doing that. But I'm giving you an option today that you can pay in full, or you can do a payment plan. You're going to have to dedicate time, 90 minutes at least, and maybe we'll go a little bit longer sometimes, just like this webinar went a little bit longer because we've got a lot to do and a lot to talk about. But you're going to feel 100% supported. You're going to start to feel changes as soon as we start to support your body, as soon as you change your foods. So get signed up as well for that food testing course. Again, I'm giving you a major discount on the food testing course. A button is below. Get signed up to join this group intensive that starts on August 20th. I'm so excited for the women who are going to be joining me on that. We are going to learn so much about each other. We are going to define your vision, what you need, and we are going to get you there. So I want to thank you for being here with me. Let me pop back on, and I so much appreciate you being here. I hope you stuck till the end. Anybody who's hearing me say that, of course, is at the end here, but you can be energized. You can be radiant again. Dedicate and invest in you. That $3,000 investment is so worth it. It is life changing. And I'm going to have more opportunities for you after the 8-week course too. More things to do and enjoy and live life to the fullest. And we're going to have a live event and we'll get together. It is so good to get together with people who have the same thought process. We've been through similar things. We've changed things, and we all can keep inspiring each other. So don't forget, the group starts on Monday, August 20th. You definitely can sign up for a 15-minute session, free session, if you need to talk more about your commitment, and we'll work through that. Otherwise, sign up today. Get your food test course right away as well. I'll get your hormone testing kit to you so we get those results right away. The sooner you do those tests, the sooner we can make changes, the sooner you will be the next celebrity that I am talking about, of the story that I am sharing. She went from this to this and she would never go back. So boom, let's get you there. I'm so excited, and share this with the other women who need to know it too. I will see you again really soon.